All right, so this video is currently going viral right now, and I want to talk about it because I think that this relates to many people in this day and age.
Hitting me right
and
now.
and I know you didn't just interrupt me, girl. I know you did not just do that. No, but seriously, I think this video relates to many of us, and so I want to share it. So let's take a look at this video and see what's going on.
I'm turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right. I'm turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. I haven't even tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything. And I don't know how to, I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. And I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like, it's 40 years of just being confused and not knowing and like figuring things out slower and like not like I haven't built anything. I haven't nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm lost. I'm afraid, and
All right. So at least to me, one of the factors that is deeply contributing to this is education. You guys already know if you watch this channel for any extended amount of time, you already know that I rail on education quite often. And it's mainly because education sucks. Not learning doesn't suck, but the education system absolutely sucks. I don't think that any of them have any idea of what they're doing. And I'm a victim of the education system. That's right. I'm not using that word hyperbolically. I am a victim of that circumstance of the education system, and it's mainly because there's no real world application other than the fact that we're learning how to read. But other than that, the reading sucks. A lot of what we have to read in education sucks ass. And so this school system doesn't exactly prepare us for the real world. And just empirically, I could just show you guys. When's the last time you guys ever learned anything in high school about financial credit or financial literacy or any of that? A credit card. I mean, you've heard of extra credit, but that doesn't relate to credit cards. I want to show you guys this as well, because the New York Times wrote this article about 2 years ago. More states now require financial literacy classes in high school. That is great. We need that because we don't have any real world applications in school. Math, you name it, math, science, none of this stuff. Potentially history, but most people forget that kind of history anyways. Actually, most people forget what they learn in school quite often. There's videos online where they'll go up to these random people on the streets and just interview them. Although that isn't really representative of the majority of people. I'm sure that most people have some knowledge, or at least will indicate that they don't know what they don't remember what it is. But some people are so confident that, you know, they'll give us a bit of insight into just how unknowledgeable they are. So this is kind of an example of what I'm talking about. I know, again, this isn't representative of the masses, but just to give you some insight, because some of these folks are way too confident and they can provide some sort of insight as to just how knowledgeable they are when it comes to these questions.
I'll give you $1 if you can name any continent.
I don't know.
Good. That's great. That's not even funny to me. I'm glad that you say I don't know. Most people don't even say that. They'll just throw out an answer. I'm pretty sure that you're going to witness that in a bit.
I don't know what continent. If I did, I would say it.
What century are we in?
20.
Yes. If you're driving 60 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you end up traveling?
I don't know. I'm not good at math. 2 hours?
Justin here, and today...
You see what I mean? I listen. If someone still throws out an answer, I consider that brave, mainly because at least they're attempting to answer it. But they also risk looking dumb. So there's that. But most times, people don't know these answers because, well, they don't really sit there and think about this stuff. I'm pretty sure that whatever occupations they hold, doesn't really require them to answer these questions. So oftentimes people will just forget these questions. And one of the things about accomplishments, because I know that this is about accomplishments, one thing about accomplishments is that if you want to accomplish anything in life, you have to recognize that there's a formula to this. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as letting chance be your guide, because I know that when you go to the comment section down below, that's kind of what they're implying with this comment when they say something along the lines of, you don't have to do anything except exist in life. Like you're leaving it up to chance. No, don't do that. You actually have to create your own luck, and you have to pursue your own passions and endeavors. But the problem is, how do you get there? Well, one of my methods, one of the things that I wish I would have done a lot earlier in life, obviously I couldn't because I couldn't apply it and I didn't have anybody to tell me this. But if you want to pursue your own passions, if you want to pursue whatever you're most interested in, you have to ask yourself the question, what is it that I'm good at? And I know that's pretty generic, but let me show you how to ask the question, because I think that a lot of people tell you what you have to think, but they don't show you how to do it. So one of the things is that I ask myself, what do I have to do? What's my interest? And I highly suggest you do this, when I get a piece of paper, a sheet of paper, I write down what I think I'm good at. Let me show you. This is an image from my talent tree. That's what I call it. So essentially it's notes that I write down every now and then. The last time I modified this was on June 16, 2025. This was about a couple days ago or 2 weeks ago at 8:49 p.m. So this is what I like to do. So obviously these are all my skills, but some of them have X's. And the reason why some of these have X's is because, as you can see, like I can't do this every single day. I have to at least do one of these skills. But the problem is that it's just too much. So what I did was I drew X's on some of these. This is as you can see, that's a wider scope of it. I drew X's on a lot of these because I just can't focus on so many of these either hobbies or skills. So I have to drop a lot of them. So this is my newer one, which I modified right here. So you can see that it's a lot more lean, a lot more punchy, shorter. And this is the talent tree. And then this is Instagram. This is what I want to upload on Instagram, which is why I have been a little more active on Instagram. So essentially it's EDM. I know how to produce this music. I want to just produce 15 to 30 second drops. These are goals. These are interests that I have, but I want you to focus more on the interests: illustration, film, music, writer, photography. Notice that like I drew out all my interests, but I drew X's on some of them because some of these, I don't really like to focus too much time on these. Like for instance, when it comes to gaming, I love to play 3D platformers and first person shooter games, but it doesn't really align with what I really want to pursue, which is, YouTube, which is YouTube and entertainment. When it comes to entertainment, that's where I feel great. That's what I want to do. Social media, Instagram and YouTube, this is just more or less for reference. Money, dude, I love making money, but money, I let my sister take care of that. I want to do that hobby as well, but I can't do it. So I'd rather just let my sister worry about the finances because she's so much more effective than me at money. So I let her take care of our finances. And don't get the wrong idea, man, because here's the thing: money is definitely important, but if you can offload that skill to someone who is also good at money, dude, that will take such a burden off of you. You have no idea, man. It's kind of the same thing as well when you're attempting to be a content creator and you have to video edit. If you can offload the editing to someone else, you could just produce content like that. But depending on your situation though, the only reason why it works well with me is because that's my sister, that's family. So I can definitely offload this skill, the money skill, off to her. Cause if it was a friend or anybody else, dude, I would have to have significant trust, or I don't know how I would be able to do it. But I'm so lucky that my sister is a part of my endeavors, because yeah, I would not be able to pursue anything if it wasn't for her. So yeah, like I just eliminate all those hobbies and I just worry about what I have to focus on, So I leaned it down to this. And then as you can see, this is YouTube mandatory. Even I have to write down what I have to do on YouTube because I forget. I'm confused. I don't even know what I have to do. So I write it down: trending topics, opinions about events, opinions about people. I love giving opinions about people and their ideas, research topics. Do some research because I love to research. I don't just like to just give answers out of my ass. I like to show you guys with substance, because I know that in this world we need substance so we can walk away with something and feel like we've learned something. And then these are optional. These are hobbies: chess, gaming, math, physics, books. I love doing math on my own time. I like reading books, but believe it or not, I barely even get to these. I barely get to do any of these things because I'm mostly focused on these other things here. This is much more important to me than this stuff, which this is also important, but I just can't get to it. And then even after I write that stuff down, I still write down ideas for stuff that I want to do. You know, ghost drawing pen, cursive writing, Complextro, Pikachu sketches, cutting pandas rope. All of this stuff makes sense to me, but probably doesn't make sense to you. But this is all stuff that I want to do, you know, which I've already done some of this stuff. Like for instance, when I show you guys my sketches, I've already done like Pikachu sketches here. Where are they? They're all here. You know, so I do these ideas. I execute on those goals. And that's why I want to show you guys how to write down your interests, how to write down ideas that perhaps you want to do. Really, all it takes now is just to do them, to go out there and actually do what these goals that you want to do, you know. And of course you have to make them manageable, because I think that one of the things that we don't do is manage our goals. And the reason why is because we're often focusing so much on like the end skill, like the skill, like what we can potentially be when we finally learn the skill, rather than trying to accomplish what we can do now. And one last thing, don't be afraid to restructure your talent tree. So as you guys just witnessed, my talent tree is on my phone. It's on my notes and it's structured, formatted in plain text. However, there are times where I want to be a little more creative and I'll create a talent tree in this shape or perhaps in another form. But just to show you guys that I commit to my talent tree, I draw it in different forms. This is one form, and then there's another form as well, which is this one. This is my corkboard. As you can see right behind me, right there, that's my corkboard right behind me. That's my corkboard, and that's essentially this right here. Let me go ahead and turn myself off so you can see. And this is all of the stuff that I like. As you guys can see, there's a little tracer keychain there. I like playing Overwatch. There's a Rubik's Cube. I used to love Rubik's Cubes. I used to solve them all the time. My books, music, these are all my skills and hobbies that I like to do on my own time. Gaming, this is one of my characters. That's Ghost. Commentating, as you guys can see, I'm commentating here for you guys. Writing, I write one-liners. And of course, these are all very niched skills, which that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Another thing that I want you guys to understand is that I'm constantly updating this corkboard, and I'm also constantly updating my talent tree, which, by the way, this is an old talent tree. This is no longer viable since I've already moved on from a lot of these skills. A lot of these were X'd out. So obviously books, actually I still take pictures, books, gaming, social media, I took those out, so this talent tree is no longer viable. However, this one is still updating. I can eliminate these skills, but I choose to keep them up because these are a reminder that they're just hobbies. And obviously there's a lot of empty space here because there's going to be much more that's going to go up here. Fan work, or perhaps drawings that I will do, or other keychains or other pins. That's what's going to go up here. There's a lot of stuff here that is related to me. And of course, some of the images are blacked out. That's mainly because that's personal, that's family there. I don't want to expose them. But yeah, this is stuff that I like, and I format it in this format so then I can always remember who I am as a person. So that's what I suggest you guys do. Organize it. Remember, write down your interests and eliminate the ones that you probably have no relation with, and the ones that you do have some sort of relation. Try to see if you can organize some objectives around it, and if it helps, then you could potentially start building some skill sets for yourself. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go ahead and share that. That's really all I just wanted to talk about. Yeah, man, let me know what happens for you.